go.
So teas first, teas first. For as many accolades and celebrations.
Buenas Hafide Tiro Ali Mogetin. Welcome to our studios here in Tumon, Guam. My name is Troy Torres with Kandit News. As a matter of fact, welcome and thank you for visiting me in Facebook jail tonight. I very much appreciate that. Johnny Rosario is under the weather for tonight, so it's just me. I hope you can stay along for the stories that we have tonight. There's a lot. Please like and share. So we made the 10,000 mark on Facebook, and as a reward, Facebook put us in jail under Kandit News Group. That's why we're casting from my personal profile. It's been quite a while since we've casted from my personal profile. Back in the day, when our offices were in Agania, I remember getting all excited about 45 to 50 live viewers at a time for my personal profile. And then we took a risk and we transferred everything over to our page, Kandit News Group, and it took off from there. So every time we're put in Facebook jail, you're not able to see, we're able to go live and everything, but you're not able to actually see that, see us on your timelines. So that's why for the next week, we decided to just go back to my personal profile, cast from there. We're still casting live. It's a simulcast on YouTube as well. That's youtube.com/c/Kandit News Group. Or you should just search for Kandit News Group on YouTube and we'll be there. And we're trying to figure out how to go live from the website platform as well. There's a feature there, but I just haven't had any time to look at it today because we've been hunting down the news, and there are a lot of news stories tonight. Before that, even though we're in Facebook jail, please still like and follow our Facebook page, Kandit News Group. In a week, on Monday, we will be back out of Facebook jail sometime in the afternoon. And also like and share Angel in Disguise, ANGELNDSKIES. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Kandit News Group, and most especially to our website, www.kanditnews.com, where you can get the news first. All you have to do is scroll to the bottom of any page, and at the bottom you'll see a subscribe here feature. You just enter your email address and hit subscribe now, and you will be getting our news as soon as we publish it. So without further ado, let's start with the good stuff. We have a bit of good news to report tonight. The people involved in the accident along Route 1 Marine Corps Drive in Winning in front of Horse and Cow. The car that you see in the videos that we posted on our website, in our story on our website regarding the Winning crash, the white car that's all mangled up was occupied by one of our viewers' sister's husband and son, who is a middle school student. Both of them survived. So everyone's prayers have been answered. They're both in stable condition, going through some testing at the hospital. Now, another witness at the scene told Kandit News that as she was driving northbound on Marine Corps Drive around Alupang Beach Towers, the driver of the white car that you see crashed up against Horse and Cow was flying by at about 100 miles an hour or more, and was weaving through traffic, hit the family in that other white car that was left on Marine Corps Drive, and then veered into the Horse and Cow parking lot where that person finally crashed. There are no reports yet from the Guam Police Department about their investigation into the crash, whether the driver who caused the crash was intoxicated, but that investigation continues. But the good news is that by the family's account, the 2 or 3 people in the car, I believe it's 2 people in the car, the sisters, one of our viewers' sisters' husband and their son who were in the car were taken to the hospital with injuries. They are in stable condition and they're undergoing tests right now. Please pray for their speedy recovery, that they don't go through too much pain. That's actually all we have for the good stuff. Let's move on to Guput Gobyerno now. Yap State and the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation have identified suspects in the murder of the late Attorney General Rochelle Bergeron and will be making an announcement soon on arrests. No details have been provided. Meanwhile, her family mourns the loss of a very special person who fought for those who didn't have a voice. A statement was issued 5 hours ago by the Yap State government that reads, "On behalf of the Yap State government leadership, Governor Henry S. Fallon would like to thank the investigating team, which consists of local authorities and external partners, for their hard work, seamless collaboration, and unrelenting 24/7 teamwork spent focusing on the investigation into the murder of Acting Attorney General Rochelle Bergeron over the last week. We can now report that they have completed the initial phase of the investigation and have progressed to an intermediate phase that has resulted in the identification of several persons of interest. As they work in a coordinated and orderly manner toward the next phase of concluding the investigation with an arrest and ultimately a conviction, we would like to thank the community and citizens of Yap for your contributions to the investigation, cooperation with the authorities, and your prayers. We will issue the next statement when there is more news to report. In the meantime, thank you for your support and patience as the investigation team diligently continues its work." Meanwhile, that was a statement from the Yap State government. Meanwhile, Ms. Bergeron's brother wrote a heartfelt message to family, friends, and to the people of Yap on his Facebook page saying, quote, "I don't normally like to post about my personal life, but my sister's story is worth sharing. Rochelle was my first and biggest supporter. From day one, she was the one who would stick up for me, encourage me, and be there in any way she could. Growing up, Rochelle always had a book in her hand. I think she had enough intelligence for both of us. She graduated law school at 23 and went on to pass the New York and California State Bar exam. She always used her intelligence, savviness, and her big heart to defend those who couldn't defend themselves. I've never met anyone that could defend so relentlessly, yet empathize so deeply. Most people don't have someone like Rochelle in their corner, and I am eternally grateful I had her there for nearly 3 decades. She won't be there to help me get through the most difficult times in my life, though. On Monday morning, I received a call from my parents that my sister had been shot and did not make it. My family and I are heartbroken from losing Rochelle. We sincerely appreciate all the support we have received these past few days. We know she had friends all over the world, and it would be nice to hear stories and see pictures from those of you who knew her. You can do that at rememberingrachelle.com. That's REMEMBERING RACHELLE.com. Please share the link to people you know that may want to share their memories. I will post any updates at this site as well. And then I wanted to share with you what her brother wrote about the people of Yap, which is a very heartfelt thing. Don't go to my screen, Chella, because it's coming from a. Just give me a second here. Oh, that's not it. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, there it is. So Ryan Bergeron wrote in a comment to the Yap State government's post regarding Ms. Bergeron, he says, I am Rochelle's brother. My family would like you to know that Rochelle loved the people of Yap. My family and I were shown kindness and generosity from everyone we met on our visits. We understand there are evil people everywhere. We trust the people of Yap will assist the FBI in bringing justice to this person and closure to our family. We do not want this story to damage the reputation of your beautiful island. What a wonderful family. And in their time of mourning, to go out of their way to help Yap and the people of Yap to deal with this as well, because by all accounts, the governor and the people of Yap loved Rochelle Bergeron. And this is just such a sad story all the way around. Our heartfelt condolences to the Bergeron family and to the people of Yap for what has to be just such a devastating part of their history. And we're just so sorry that that all happened. Now, we did receive statements from, give me one second, from the Attorney General's office and from the Governor's office regarding this. Now, we asked the Governor's office and the Attorney General's office, has Governor Leon Guerrero offered any support to the Yap governor or to the FBI regarding the investigation into the assassination of Rochelle Bergeron? Are the Governor and the Attorney General concerned that the kind of corruption involving Chinese nationals and corporations that Ms. Bergeron and Governor Fallon have been trying to root out has made its way to Guam? If so, what have they done about this? Is there a concern for the safety of our Governor and Attorney General if, in fact, these are matters the administration and the AG are looking into? What is being done to address this security concern? And so, first from the Governor's office, Janela Carrera, the Director of Communications, responded for the Governor, saying, Governor Leon Guerrero has personally called Governor Fallon to offer her condolences and support. In addition, the Guam Police Department has reached out to the Yap Chief of Police to offer support should they make a request for assistance. Governor Leon Guerrero is concerned by corruption on Guam, whether it is imported or homegrown. This is why she has appointed members to the long-dormant Ethics Commission, called on the AG to investigate corruption and prosecute it, and why she has called for fixes to the Police Review Commission law. And regarding security, Ms. Carrera writes, this tragic incident shows us how fragile life can be for anyone. However, we are not aware of any credible threats, and we are confident in the men and women who keep us all safe. From the Attorney General's office, they write, the FSM National Police and Yap Police, with assistance from the FBI Honolulu Division, are conducting an active investigation into the death of Rochelle Bergeron, Acting Attorney General for the state of Yap. At this time, it would be inappropriate for the Guam OAG to chime in on any discussion related to or surrounding an ongoing investigation and defer to the lead agencies for comment. We do, however, stand ready to assist our law enforcement counterparts in the event it is necessary. And then on that last question, Carlina Charfris from the Attorney General's office wrote to us saying, regarding corruption, she says, corruption is a concern for the OAG, and we have investigated and prosecuted cases that are corruption-based. As you know, we're in the midst of a trial where the accused have a form of government corruption charges filed against them. They're talking about the Guru case. I can also think of another case earlier this year where the company was convicted of tampering with public records. So those comments coming from our island's chief executive and chief legal officer of the government of Guam. The government of Guam owes thousands of people tens of millions of dollars in tax refunds and anticipates that thousands more people will file a refund claim by the end of the year. The kicker? We're only 2 months away from tax refund claims starting anew for the 2019 tax refunds. Today, the administration announced that $1.5 million covering 562 tax refund checks will be mailed out to cover A-status refunds filed on or before April 27, 2019 this year. Several residents have complained that their refund, for which they filed and claimed earlier than April 15 this year, still hasn't been paid. According to the October run date of the monthly income tax refund status report by the Department of Revenue and Taxation, 8,660 individual and corporate tax refunds dating from 2006 to 2018 still haven't been paid. For 2018, as of October 1, there were 2,861 individual claims alone. Taxpayers numbering in the hundreds for each of the years between 2011 through 2017 still are waiting for their refunds. Corporate income tax filers have waited the longest, with numbers and corresponding amounts of still due refunds remaining virtually unchanged in every tax year column in the report for every month the administration has been in office. That was since January. Kandit asked Governor's Director of Communications, Janela Carrera, today for an update on when the administration expects to pay overdue refunds and those thousands of refunds pending payment. She said she would be speaking with Director of Revenue and Taxation, Daphne Shimazu, regarding this. Ms. Carrera has not yet replied to our inquiry. I want to go to the comments before proceeding to the top two stories. Hi, Diva. That's why I call Andrea Pelicani. She's my diva. Oh, my sister Tammy. Tam, have you and Andrea even hooked up? They're classmates. They look very young. Tammy and Andrea and almost all their classmates look very young, and they're a very sassy class, as I understand it. I know, my sister's probably gonna give me a kiss for that young comment. Hi, Diva Alice James. Yes, we are in Facebook jail because apparently we are Facebook criminals, but we haven't received an indictment or anything. Like, there are no charges against us, all right? There's no due process with Facebook. Everyone be glad that the American constitutional system has a due process respect, all right? Because Facebook doesn't. Mark Zuckerberg sucks. But on the bright side of things, I can cuss a shitload more from my personal profile page or from my personal profile than we can from the Kandit News Group page. Hi, Marvin. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Jay. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Monica. Hi, Jay and Mel. Hey, Carl Bloss. Hafaday from San Diego. Or Hafaday to you in San Diego. Hi, Big Tone Mendiola. Hafaday to you in Texas. Hi, Doreen Pangilinan. Thank you for sharing. Oh, can you guys please share? It really, really helps to get our numbers up, especially now that we're in Facebook jail. Hi, James and Pauline. Hi, Ronald. Hi, Francis. Buenas. Hi, Ken Yoshimoto. Hi, Mixon. Hi, Amy Jackson. Thanks for the chat tonight. Hi, Zachary. Hi, Jessica. Raul Jose says they rather buy new police vehicles, shaking my head. Hi, Mr. Lebowski. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hi, Christopher. All right, let's go to our let's go to Blood Money. Do we have images and stuff for Blood Money? You know, it's always good to splatter up a picture of Connie Jo Shinihara, since she's been quite offensive toward us. And don't forget Gil Shinihara and Johnny Cool Taurus. We got plenty? Okay, good. Support is growing for the abolition of Liberty machines on Guam. Attorney General Levin Camacho continues to stand firm in his opposition to Liberty machines and the blood money that flows from them. Kandit asked the Attorney General the following questions. On February 1, the Attorney General reaffirmed his commitment to ending the operation of Liberty machines. I attached the news release from the OAG for your reference. May we have a statement regarding his stance today? Also, does he believe that these machines in the game rooms, restaurants, and children's amusement parks that they are in are harming our society? Does he believe the senators should tighten the law to prohibit these machines? Would he support a referendum to get rid of these machines? Today, we received his response, which shows his very firm stance against these gambling machines. According to the Attorney General, quote, "Our position remains the same. These machines are illegal under Guam law. Later this month, the court will hear arguments on our motion where we will contend that the machines should not be licensed. We would respect any clarification that could come via a change of our current law, whether in the form of a referendum or an act of the legislature." Unquote. A very strong statement by the Attorney General of Guam and a damning statement against the politicians of this island. The Supreme Court of Guam is expected to issue a mandate in a case involving the issuance of gaming machine licenses, bringing the involved parties one step closer to knowing whether or not gaming devices are legal under the local law. In February of this year, General Camacho stated the following, quote, "The position of the Office of the Attorney General has not changed in the decade-long question of whether gaming devices are legal or not. The office firmly maintains that gambling devices cannot and should not be licensed on Guam. We will continue to take whatever action is necessary to see that the law is upheld and gambling devices are not licensed." Unquote. In 2008, approximately 1,200 gaming devices were licensed in violation of Guam's amusement devices licensing laws. The Office of the Attorney General sued the Department of Revenue and Taxation to revoke the licenses. DRT revoked them after a court order. Then, Guam Music, Inc. intervened in the case and filed a new lawsuit against DRT in an effort to force them to reissue its gambling licenses. The parties agreed to dismiss the two cases in 2012 due to politics. The OAG believed that this meant the gambling devices would remain unlicensed because it is not legal to license gambling devices. DRT, however, then issued gaming machine licenses. In response, the OAG filed its current case arguing that DRT should be prohibited from issuing gaming licenses. The Supreme Court's issuance of the mandate will trigger the Superior Court to rule on two pending motions filed in 2016. The OAG's motions deal with the merits of gaming regulations. The OAG has argued that the gaming regulations are invalid because they were submitted by DRT to the legislature without complying with the Administrative Adjudication Law or the AAA, and they exceed DRT's authority. After the proceedings in the Superior Court have run their course, the OAG expects the Supreme Court ruling that will ultimately decide the validity of the gaming device regulations once and for all. Speaker Tina Muñoz-Barnes replied to Kandit today, telling our viewers that although she voted to allow the machines in the past, she now agrees that these machines are bad for Guam. She told Kandit, quote, "In the past, during all the referendums, I had voted no on gambling. I agree with you that this is not good for the community. That being said, I will state for the record that previously I did vote yes on Bill 19-32. The rationale behind that is because living in a democratic society, our people should have the choice to exercise their own free will." Now, as things go with whether or not something becomes a law or whether or not something that is allowed will no longer be allowed by the Guam legislature, right now, we now have one vote to get rid of Liberty machines, and that is a vote by Speaker Tina Muñoz-Barnes, who says she agrees with us that these are bad for the community. And we're about to hear about the second vote against Liberty machines. Senator James Moylan took a strong anti-gambling stance, telling us, quote, "In regards to your first question, our campaign has never received any contributions from any of the stated companies or names that you mentioned or their employees." And I'm going to pause right here to name them. Guam Music, Inc., the Trust of the late Pedro Dongo Pangilinan, Lauren Bromley, Gil Shinehara, Connie Joe Brennan Shinehara, and Johnny Cole Torres, Tom Tahaji, and their known affiliates and associates. So he says, our campaign has never received any contributions from any of the stated companies or names that you mentioned or their employees, and to the best of our knowledge from their affiliates or associates. This information can be confirmed with our filings with the Guam Election Commission. Kandit confirmed today that Senator Moylan is telling the truth. As for your second question, I do agree that these game rooms have an ill effect on our society. Our take is simple. Either we eliminate them altogether or heavily tax them to fund other necessities such as healthcare and public services. We did introduce a bill in January to increase the assessment fee from 4% to 14%. And just as many of our bills, the legislation continues to sit in a committee. We keep hearing of a potential court decision which would decide the fate of those licenses that were authorized as per some law in the 32nd Guam legislature, which is what continues to be the stalling point. Yet it's unpredictable as to when that decision may arise, thus our decision to at least increase the taxes on them in the meantime. If a measure is introduced to eliminate them altogether, I would support it. Likewise, if there is a measure to establish other regulations for these game rooms or set zoning requirement on where they can be operated, we would be open to that. If you would like to sit down and discuss the issue more, I would be glad to. I know you are passionate about the subject matter, and this is one area we actually he said we're passionate. Nigga, it's beyond that now. We can actively review and engage in that at the start of the term and understand why it's going to be tough to gain some traction on. Please let me know, and thank you for raising the issue. Well, along these lines, Seaport Deputy Manager Kanijo Shinohara, who is one of the owners of the Liberty Game Rooms, along with her husband, convicted federal felon Gil Shinohara, was appointed to her position by Governor Lulian Guerrero despite the potential for Ms. Shinohara to abuse her position and allow illegal replacement gaming machines to be imported through the seaport. Kandit has reached out to the governor's office to ask whether Ms. Leon Guerrero ever considered this conflict of interest, accounting for Ms. Shinohara's criminal past and connections. We also asked what the vetting process was in hiring Ms. Shinohara. The governor's office has not responded to our request for information for a second day, and Ms. Shinohara was seen at today's celebration of Port Week with the governor at Cabras Island. Wait, let me go to comments and light a cigarette because that was a lot of reading. Hi, Josh. Hi, Babe. Hi, Michael. Hi, Claire. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Jolyn. Hi, John Savares. Hi, RJ. Hi, Ria. Hi, Davina. Christopher Huggins says, Buenas from Killeen, Texas. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you very much. Hold on, guys. Let me just light my cigarette. Man, where's your guys' comments? I want to read more of your comments. Hi, Kyle. Hi, Dave and Janine. Okay, I can smoke while I'm reading. In the sleepy, quiet southern village of Piti, the kids don't have many outdoor recreational options. Unlike most villages, they don't have a village gymnasium to gather and play sports. They only have a broken down baseball field and their outdoor basketball court. Their only village basketball court no longer exists, as it has been bulldozed over by GTA, and it was all orchestrated by GTA executive Dan Tidinko. Late last year, Dan Tidinko, GTA Executive Vice President for Government, Regulatory, and Legal Affairs, worked secretly with PD Mayor Jesse Alec to acquire the property where the village basketball court sits on for GTA. Tidinko and Alec worked with Tidinko's former boss, Senator Tom Atta, to get the bill introduced on November 13, 2018. Here's the timeline of this record-setting introduction and passage of a law in Guam. On November 13, 2018, the bill was introduced by Tom Atta. On November 20, 2018, the bill was referred to Tom Atta's committee. On November 30, 2018, right after Thanksgiving, Tom Atta schedules a public hearing for December 10. On December 5, 2018, the PD Municipal Planning Council approves a resolution backing the bill. On December 10, a public hearing is held. On December 12, a committee report is circulated only 2 days following the public hearing. On December 19, it was passed by the legislature just 9 days after the public hearing and only 7 days after the circulation of the committee report. And 2 days after its passage, it was signed by Governor Eddie Calvo. For some reason, Dan Tidinko and GTA did not feel the children of PD were important enough to replace the basketball court prior to bulldozing the only one they have. GTA pretends to care about the community, but maybe they only care about the members of the community who are related to Dan Tydinko's wife. Why? Because while the children of Piti have suffered without access to their only basketball court, Mr. Tydinko and GTA made sure to make a huge donation in exchange for this political love fest between GTA and the government of Guam to a sports organization of which Tydinko's wife Lori is an active member and organizer. The kids of Piti, many of whom fall below the national poverty level, were ignored and their basketball court bulldozed, and then Tydinko and GTA donated $100,000 to the Guam Tennis Federation for a brand new state-of-the-art facility. Tydinko's wife, Lori Tydinko, is a longtime member and a player of the older of the older Women's Federation tennis team. God bless Jacob Nakamura, the writer of this story. Was that necessary, Jacob? Of course not. Do we love it? Yes. In a GTA press release announcing their $100,000 donation to the Tennis Federation, GTA Client Relations Executive Laura Cepeda said, quote, GTA is a proactive advocate for all youth development and environmental efforts. We are proud to partake in a larger community effort to provide the adequate resources needed to develop the skills for the sport and push the limits of competition, unquote. She noted that the GTA $100,000 donation will help provide the facility with the latest technology from cushioned courts to LED lighting to eco-friendly equipment. Meanwhile, the Tennis Federation will still have their current facility, which means the $100,000 GTA donation is for a second additional facility for their tennis players, including Dan Tydinko's wife. A PD resident told Kandit, I am mad that the mayor did not get our input, but I'm also mad that GTA doesn't even care about our kids. How hard would that have been for them to lay down a concrete slab and put our fences and basketball posts back up in another location? This viewer wanted to remain, this source wanted to remain anonymous because their village is small and he claims the mayor may retaliate. When we informed the father that GTA instead donated $100,000 to the Tennis Federation, of which Tydinko's wife, Lori Tydinko, is a member, the father became enraged, saying, quote, that's complete bullshit, unquote. Instead of spending a few $1,000s to put an outside basketball court up in the village, GTA decided to focus on the wealthy members of the Tennis Federation instead of the at-risk youth of Piti. There have been vague promises of GTA replacing the basketball court sometime in the near future, but absolutely nothing was placed in that law requiring that they do so. And just to remind everyone from the beginning of this story that like this is a Tom Atta law. This is what you would consider, quote, another fucking stupid Tom Atta law. Like Tom Atta is the father of all stupid laws on this island. He really is. Like every stupid law you can think of, I swear to God, whenever someone tells me about a law and I'm like, well, that's stupid. Like the very first, ask anyone I know, the very first thing I say, that must be a Tom Atta law. Nothing was changed to give PD Village. The law just says GTA will pay rent based on an appraisal, and the mayor has said that that will be about $1,000 a month. The law gave GTA a 40-year lease, so that would mean they would pay only $480,000 in 40 years or $240,000 in 20 years if the optional 20 years is not renewed. Think about this for a second, my friends. Think about this. This is prime property fronting Marine Corps Drive in Piti, right across from Cabras Island. This is a multi-million-dollar property. GTA got it for $1,000 a month. This is a large prime lot fronting Marine Corps Drive. And although the appraisal from the committee report indicated that this lot being leased to GTA was zoned as residential and not commercial, it was never addressed in the hearing, nor was that matter addressed during markup. Sadly, the village's only basketball court does not seem to be the only recreational area being eyed by GTA. In fact, in the public hearing and other public venues, Tydinko has expressed that their $1 billion undersea cable project was the reason they went after the Piti basketball court land, and that they are also interested in Santos Memorial Park in Piti right across the street. Santos Park in Piti is directly across the street from the former basketball court where GTA is now constructing their new facility. It is the only park in Piti, and the public, especially the residents of Piti, use this beachside facility for family gatherings, functions, school field trips, and even the Piti Fiesta was held there this year, hosted by Mayor Alec. In 2012, Guam Environmental Protection Agency designated Santos Memorial Park in Piti as a demonstration park for proper stormwater management, which makes Kandit wonder how in the world GTA will be able to get the regulatory license from Guam Coastal Management Program to dredge up Santos Memorial Park. Guam EPA helped coordinate with village residents the planting of native trees, a stabilized stream bank, and a rain garden around the pavilion. And even though island residents, most especially those in Piti, use their only village park for so many different kinds of functions, it now appears that Dan Tidinko is scheming behind the scenes and without the knowledge of the public nor the residents of Piti to take that recreational area away as well. According to the June 5, 2019 board meeting minutes from the Guam Economic Development Authority, the PD mayor wants to close that park to the public and lease it to a commercial venture. Quote, "First our basketball court and now our park," said a woman who lives near the PD church. She goes on to say, "We are a small village. We don't have much. Why is Jesse giving this all away to GTA?" Mayor Alex said in testimony supporting the lease that his office needed the rental revenues due to budget cuts. Yet the mayor of Piti receives the same amount of funding as every village mayor, including much larger districts, who have not resorted to shutting down recreational areas in favor of private commercial interests. And it appears from the June 2019 GITA board meeting minutes that the Piti mayor may be close to giving the Santos Memorial Park away as well. Mr. Alec appears to have been convinced by GTA to lease out this land directly across from the new GTA leased land, as he is trying to get an MOU approved to give that property to a private entity. So now the mayor wants to shut down the public park in Piti and lease it to a commercial venture. This is the same area that Tidinko indicated GTA wants to use for their $1 billion undersea cable project. Sources say some current Piti Municipal Planning Council members are not even aware of the mayor's newest efforts to close down Santos Park and lease it to a private business. And for sure the residents don't even know, since the mayor has admitted to us that their Municipal Planning Council did not publish any public notice of their meeting to approve the lease to GTA and do not actually publish any MPC notices at all, not even to residents. But the mayor routinely communicates with residents via email, WhatsApp, and even via flyers delivered to their homes on other matters, such as sharing photos of his events or planned water outages. So is Mayor Alec intentionally keeping residents in the dark? One can only surmise, given that his partner in the great land scam of Piti is none other than Dan Tidinko, who is known for his shady dealings with government and for openly flaunting his willingness to ignore local laws. This time, however, he appears to be doing it on behalf of GTA, a company that prides itself on being a good corporate partner and always being there for the people of Guam. Meanwhile, Tidinko's actions on behalf of GTA has the children of Piti wondering who is really there for them. Biba Guam says, here's a comment, Lou is fucked up. Thanks, Biba Guam. Raul Jose says, shameful, shameful, shameful. Raul Jose says, Busted the Cheesecake said GTA wants to act like their land trust claiming land. As a matter of fact, I believe Santos Memorial Park is Chamorro Land Trust land. Raul, you're onto something. If I'm not mistaken, and as a matter of fact, we got an email from Melanie Mendiola, who is the administrator of the Guam Economic Development Authority, telling us that before this issue went to GITA, it had passed the Chamorro Land Trust Commission, which has control over the property. Francis Wolford says the park in Piti is part of the preservation area. Oh, is this the is that a marine preserve, Francis? Is that what that is? It's a marine preserve. No kidding. That's why Guam EPA would be so interested in stormwater management and stormwater runoff. TD says no public disclosure, illegal. Very, very smart thinking, TD. We were thinking the same thing. She says, oh, Danny boy. Biba Guam says, time for PD resistance to rise up. Residents, she says. Hi, Elijah Rages. Hi, Johnny Riarty. Hi, Prima Angelina Farron. Hi, Maverick Naron. Hi, Bob Mofness, Frank and Mel Calvo, Joseph Uggan, Rose Dorothy Tidegui. Thank you very much. I don't have anything else, you guys. This is the news for tonight. Um, in conclusion, I want to thank everyone for the wonderful thoughts that you expressed about my dad's passing. He died 2 Sundays ago, and he's my dad. I love him and miss him very much. I He has a viewing on Wednesday at 11 a.m. at Guam Memorial Park, and then on Friday at 9 a.m. the funeral starts at St. Anthony Church, and then at 12 is the mass at St. Anthony Church, and then after that is his burial at Veterans Cemetery. So if you want to pay your respects, if you knew him, I know my dad was like a popular guy. I'm nothing like him. Like, he's like a very, very good and kind man, very wise. But I aspire to be like him. That's all, Guam. I love you, and good night.